Morning, Ricardo. All right. So we're going to do a kind of a short assessment today of your photography skills, your Photoshop skills, your knowledge of the principles of design, which are what? Juana? What's a principle of design? What's something I look for when you are composing a design for me? A focal point. Very good. Okay. What else do I look for? Julian? Shapes. Those are elements of design. How do you arrange those shapes? Gloria?
Patterns.
Patterning is a principle of design. Okay. Oh, you're grabbing for your book. That's fine. Resources are good. Okay, so patterning, a focal point. What else do you use to create a composition? Marissa? A color scheme. Huge. It's going to be very big in this particular project. Okay. So those are the three things that I am going to be looking for. Your goal today is to create, in this class period, a book cover. All right? You are going to utilize original photos. You will be showing me your Photoshop skills and your knowledge of the principles of design, which obviously you guys already know. At the end of the hour, your book cover is going to show me that originality. You will be graded on your focal point, your use of focal point, your use of color scheme. And the biggest part is to be able to communicate a written idea visually. All right, so these books are examples of people who have illustrated the book, and they have created a book cover that somebody's going to want to pull off the shelf and read. So they have used, what's the focal point of this one? Crystal? The boy's face. All right? How about on this? Eileen? The whole picture. And possibly the title, Esteban and the Ghost. All right, so these are up here as examples for you to use. You will be using photos, but your Photoshop techniques can create them into looking more like drawings if you want to. Juana, I really need you to be paying attention to this and not working on other assignments just now. Okay? Thanks. Alrighty. So, trying to make this into something that's a little more real life, I want you to all pretend and imagine that you are a graphic designer. You are competing with 30 other artists. You are competing with the people in this room for a full-time position with a publishing company. All right, what's a publishing company, Julian? If you don't know what a publishing company is, you're not going to know what you're trying to get. Does anybody know what a publishing company is? Eileen? What about books? They make books. A publishing company produces books. They hire the authors, the illustrators, all of that. So you are applying for, by the way, those people, those graphic designers, make in excess of $60,000 to $70,000 a year. Probably a pretty good job if you could get it. All right, they've asked each candidate to submit a book cover. They will choose their final 5 candidates out of those submissions, and you folks are competing for this. I have on this page, which gives you your whole assignment, a list of titles that you could choose, or you can create your own title. It's up to you. All right. You're going to be graded on the following things. You're going to be graded on, yes?
Can we do like a biography?
Oh, absolutely. Biography of someone? Sure, absolutely. I'm not going to pass these out. Take one and pass it around, please. These are your rubrics. We're going to go over them real quickly.
Edgar.
Let's pass those out, and I'll talk to you about the rest of this first. Then we'll go back to the rubric. Where that one came from. I am going to be checking and wanting to have you have a focal point, obviously. That is so important to make somebody want to pull this book off the shelf. Does your focal point grab the attention of the reader, and does it communicate what that book title is? Are your images original? Absolutely no internet images can be used. And do you have a color scheme? So are you keeping within your color scheme? The other thing is are you using a color scheme that communicates your idea? Maribel, red. If I say red to you, what automatically kind of comes to mind? What do you think of when I say red? Seriously, any idea? What do you see when you see red? What does it mean when you talk about people seeing red? What does it mean? Blood.
Fire.
Fire.
Ribbon.
All of those things are sort of violent, right? They're
Aggressive.
They're what? Aggressive. Yeah. All right. So if you have a violent title, something you may want to use red. What about if you have a love story? Would you also use red?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Hearts, flowers, roses, all of that stuff. Okay, so that's passion. What about light blue? Maria, what do you think of when you think of light blue, pale blue? More sad, yeah, could be sad. What else would that convey, Isaiah? Sky, could be sky, so very peaceful, kind of in the country, lots of sky. All right, so colors communicate an idea without ever using words, so you need to think about that in the color scheme that you choose. All right, let's talk about the rubric, so how you're going to be graded. Obviously you know the things that we're looking for, but specifically now, what's going to make you an unsatisfactory all the way up to an advanced artist? So, Juana, would you tell me one thing that you would be doing if you were an advanced artist in your piece? What would be something I would see in your piece? Read me one of these. There's a column for advanced, so that you know if I do this, I am an advanced artist. That first one has to do with focal points, so you might as well read that one.
I create a dimensional layout with a strong focal point within which pattern use of contrast, balance, repetition, and unity.
Very good. All right, so a strong focal point, and I used contrast, balance, repetition, and unity to do that. All right, what if I did not follow a color scheme? Crystal, what would the grade be on that? If I did not follow a color scheme. Progressing artist or unsatisfactory. All right, unsatisfactory. All right, so on this, you can tell where you're going to fall if you are an advanced artist, a proficient artist, partially proficient, or unsat. Tanya?
Do we have to join this contest? Like, what do we want to do?
No, this is an assignment. Yeah, this is a graded assignment. This isn't just imaginary. I mean, it's imaginary that you're a graphic designer trying for the job, but it is not an imaginary assignment. Okay. All right. I'm going to pass these out, and this will give you a list of titles to get you going.
Do we have to use one of these?
No, you do not. You can make up your own title if you want. So there's for both of you. But if you like one of these titles, or it's easier for you to use one of these titles, that's fine. Here you go.
Miss, where do we get the pictures?
Oh, your pictures can be your own pictures out of your folder, they can come off Facebook, but other than that, they have to be your photos. Okay, they just can't be internet.
Does it have to be?
Oh, thank you.
Does it have to be just us, like the one project we're doing right now, or does it have to?
No, this is a completely different project from your self-portrait.
So there could be somebody else in the picture? Or?
Oh, absolutely. So come up and take a look at the books if you'd like to see how these work. Some of them are highlighted by a square with a color pattern behind them. Some of them are just drawings, like the drawings of the elephants. And keep in mind, if you need something like an elephant to communicate your idea, then come talk to me and we'll see if you would have to change the internet image 75% or more in order to use that. All right, but these are some examples of books for you, different authors, different ideas as far as illustration. Are there any other questions? You had good questions. All right, so let's get busy on this, and then I'll be checking in. What, Ayana?
I'm actually recording.
I'm sorry. Okay, I think